which means strength of a horse, and for good reason. It's time to put on some slabs of beef, gentlemen, because in today's video, we are going to be discussing the 3 core supplements that should be in your stack that are guaranteed to increase your T levels. But before we do, I want to say thank you to today's sponsor, Let's Get Checked. So one of my real pet peeves about these increase your testosterone guides and videos is the lack of clinically proven evidence or baseline levels of where you are prior to implementing any of these following actions. Needless to say, how can you expect to raise your testosterone levels if you don't even know where it is to begin with? So Let's Get Checked offer discreet at-home tests delivered to your door in order for you to find out this information before you implement anything yourself. They have really easy to follow test kits which require just a simple blood sample from yourself. A few days after this, you send it off, you get a text message from one of their clinical staff with your results, and you can even request a phone call for a nurse to talk to you through what your results mean. Guys, low T can affect anything from your mood to your muscle bulk to even your stress levels. So it's really, really important we get that checked as soon as possible. Now let's get back to the video and some of these supplements that are going to increase your T levels. Number 1, vitamin D. Look, you guys knew it was coming. Vitamin D is an essential supplement that you should have in your stack. Why? Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin that gets produced in your body when exposed to sunlight. And unfortunately, I live in very cloudy and muggy Britain, so I need to make sure that I'm getting as much vitamin D as possible. There have also been many studies linked with insufficient vitamin D levels in the body and also deficiency in testosterone levels. I'm thinking specifically of one study in which 65 men were split into 2 groups. One group was the control group and the other group was the experimental. The experimental group took 3,300 of international units of vitamin D, and they found that over that long-term yearly study, the experimental group, I think their testosterone levels boosted at least 20%. So guys, please make sure you're getting adequate amounts of sunlight. But if you're unsure if you're getting the adequate amount of sunlight, it's always good to supplement your vitamin D. Very, very cheap. You can get them from your local health food store or Amazon. Easy. Now let's talk about the second supplement in your T raising stack, which is going to be Ashwagandha. Now Ashwagandha is an Indian herb which means strength of a horse, and for good reason. The primary function of Ashwagandha is an adaptogen. So what that means is when you start to supplement Ashwagandha into your stack is you begin to control cortisol more readily. Essentially, your management of stress becomes better, and one of the key killers of free base testosterone in your blood is going to be stress. So what I would also add into the mix with Ashwagandha is reflective practices, meditation. Everybody knows I'm huge on. You could also do yoga, journaling, anything where you're actively relaxing the body and decreasing cortisol in the blood, because that is going to kill your gains. There was one particular study I want to reference here where individuals took 5 grams of Ashwagandha for 3 months and they experienced T level gains around 10 and 20%, I believe. What is also interesting is about 15% of the partners of the individuals on the trial became pregnant. So that can only be a good thing. Strong sperm, strong swimmers. And last but not least, gentlemen, the third supplement in your stack, which I actually haven't tried yet, but I've heard many beneficial things, and I'm actually, it's actually in my wish list for Christmas, is ginger. Now, ginger is one of these household, I suppose, ingredients that you might find in curries and things like that. But ginger root in a supplementation form has been found to have enormous benefits on the male luteinizing hormone, which simply means that it's going to help you secrete testosterone and sperm production more readily inside the body. There have been several studies on ginger root and especially its effects on controlling any kind of inflammation, which again can come at the consequences of, you know, disease, cortisol, stress. So it helps very much in that aspect of keeping that down. Also, some studies in rats have shown increases, almost doubling, in their tea production across 30 days. The only studies in humans that I could find have found that when supplementing with ginger root, individuals have found that their tea levels can increase anywhere between 10 and 20%. And that also is a consequence of the luteinizing hormone, which also has a knock-on effect on your sperm production as well, which increases around 17% in that particular study. With ginger root, it's very safe to use. It's again used in many household dishes, so I think that's a very safe bet. With all the, well, they're all pretty safe in the ones that I've tested so far in my personal experience, but I see no reason whatsoever to be anxious towards adding ginger root to your supplement stack. So gentlemen, there were 3 testosterone supplements that are guaranteed again to boost those levels. All of them are relatively safe to use. I've used the first two in my stack for many years now and seen very positive effects for myself. Increased muscle bulk, more hair growth, all those masculine characteristics you think to be associated with higher levels of testosterone. I can pretty much vouch for them in my experience. What I would say is, beyond those other 2, I'll just tell you a little bit more about my stack. I would also add magnesium, if you haven't already, into your mix. Specifically, I have it here. You want to be supplementing magnesium glycinate, which is a very powerful form of magnesium, really good for sleeping, winding you down towards the end of the day. Again, mitigating any inflammation, cortisol, keeping yourself nice and calm. So I would definitely add that to your stack if you hadn't already. And also zinc would be really important if you haven't already. ZMA could be a good, let's say, collaboration of those minerals, so zinc and magnesium. And I think that's everything I have for you today, gentlemen. So if you haven't got your T levels checked already, I really encourage you to do so. I took the test myself. It's been really beneficial for helping me kind of plan out what I need to do differently, what I need to keep, what I need to alternate and do differently. But I'm very happy with my results so far, and I'm continuing to not make any too drastic changes in the foreseeing future. But gentlemen, if you enjoyed some of the video information today, you can subscribe to my channel, and I'll bring you something else very soon. Okay, take care.